So the second part of our PRES model, the R stands for reaching out. And what that means is building authentic relationships with others through listening and empathy. And empathy is a word that gets thrown around so much right now. But recently, it started to actually get traction. There's things like empathy marketing. Neuroscience can look into your brain right now through functional MRIs. And when you're having an empathetic response, it lights up the parts of your brain. It's no longer a fluffy concept, it's a real concept. And when we're building relationships with others, we've got to reach out with empathy. Just last week, I was in a retail store and my wife was buying some t-shirts. And we were helped by a shop assistant who was deaf and dumb. He couldn't speak and couldn't hear. And while he was fantastic in helping out my wife, the thing that really impressed me was his boss. Because his boss, while they were moving around the store, started communicating with him in sign language. They started signing with each other and they were having a lot of fun. They were laughing. Obviously they were telling each other a joke or something, but that's not the point here. And so I went and spoke to the manager and said, I just noticed you were signing. He said, yes. I said, where did you learn? He said, actually I learned on Google. But my friend over here is teaching me. And I thought, well, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. I said, so why is it important that you wanted to learn sign language? He said, well, he's an important member of our team. And he said, I want to be able to listen to him and communicate with him. And I want his ideas. And if you sit down and think about it, in retail, employees are not really treated with that much respect. And here was this guy going out of his way, studying in his private time to learn how to communicate with people. What an amazing example of empathy. So there's a really useful tool I just want to share with you. In Mandarin, the word for listen is pronounced ting, and it's a Chinese symbol that has 5 elements to it. The first element is that we listen with our ears. Of course we have to get the sound in. The second one is we give the other person undivided attention. Being present in the moment, like we've talked about. The third element in that symbol is listen with your eyes, which is really interesting because it's saying look into the other person, look into them. What are they really saying to you? The fourth element is to listen with your heart. How are they feeling? What's going on? And the fifth element is to treat them like royalty. And that symbol, that ting symbol, is a perfect example of how we as people need to show up and build these relationships. Because if we want presence, like I can tell you that leader, that manager in the retail store had, he had tons of presence. And he had it not because of what he said in his words, because he was doing it like this. And he was doing it like this and listening and communicating in a completely different medium. That's the power of reaching out with empathy.